Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and the host of this show, to Take Your Life Back, today's show. Tomorrow is my mother's 2-year anniversary in heaven, May 31st, 2016. 2 years since my beloved mother was taken from earth. It is hard today as it was 2 years ago. Nothing prepared me or my siblings. The news that my mother was hit by a truck and she was gone. Although I know she is with Jesus, the pain, the sadness, and the void she left behind is hard to live with. Let me share this with you, and let me share this really clearly. Grieving in the second year after loss. Grieving in itself. There is a pretty well-accepted theory on grieving that the first year is the hardest. The loss is so new, the first months can be spent in a blur of shock and disbelief. This, my friends, can be especially true for a sudden loss, but can surprise people when they are in shock, even after a loved one has died, following a long and drawn-out illness, or a sudden death, like my mother's. I've said it many times, nothing, I mean nothing, can prepare us for the finality of death. Navigating that first year through anniversaries and birthdays and holidays can feel endless, but the assumption for most is that as long as they can get through that, it should be smooth sailing in the days ahead, but they're not. And then year 2 happens. It arrives, the second Mother's Day without Mama, the second anniversary on her birthday without Mama, the second Christmas without Mama, and the griever may find themselves thinking, this isn't any easier. Some people have told me that the second year was actually more of a challenge to them, perhaps because of expectations, expecting to feel better and then feeling even more disappointed and sad when they didn't feel better. Or maybe it's because the more time that passes, the longer we've had to live without Mama. The longer it's been since we've seen them, heard their voice. This is a terrifying thought for the newly bereaved, to think that it's not going to get easier, but a steady climb upwards in grieving and healing. And I don't share this to scare those who are in their very early days. But expectations are a big part of our mindset, even when we're not in the stages of grief. How much more do we enjoy the movie or the party that we thought was going to be terrible? How disappointed are we when a long-planned vacation of a lifetime turns out to be not at all what we would hope for? If ever there was a time when we need to be setting realistic expectations for ourselves, then certainly our time of grieving is one of them. Throw away the timelines, my friends. Don't compare yourself with those whom you have known, who have had loss. The co-worker who was back to work smiling only a few days after her dad died. She was crying every day on the way to and from work. The family member who thinks that 18 months after your husband died, you should be dating. She has no idea what this loss feels like, what your love felt like, or what is right for you. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with those who don't understand. Don't expect today to be hard and tomorrow to be easy. Honor wherever you are right in this moment, and know that even if it feels uncomfortable, unsettling, and uneasy, that it's probably exactly where you need to be, because God has put you there. Stay open to the idea of hope and optimism, but don't set a timeline for its arrival. Folks, may my mother rest in the arms of Jesus. My mother was tragically killed on May 31st, 2016 at 3:05 p.m. in Shirley, New York. Please, if you're watching me, practice a moment of silence on May 31st, 2018 at 3:05 I thank you all in advance, and may God bless each and every one of you. And I miss my mother.